Williams exposed Oprah Winfrey and Steve Harvey for pulling a coup on Bernie Mac. Listen to this. I'm giving you the Hollywood gossip. You know what I mean? It's the Hollywood gossip. I'm in a good mood right now. It's snowing out. I just want to have fun with my family. All right? Sit back, enjoy the ride, man. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, man, and hit the notification bell. And subscribe at Mecca Audio TV and Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories. Please, let's keep it moving.
Keep it going, 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 keep it going. Mecca what? Mecca audio what? Mecca audio what? Mecca audio what? Mecca audio. I like the way it's going now.
All right, you know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, we here. We talk about Katt Williams. He's going to expose Oprah Winfrey and Steve Harvey for what they did to Bernie Mac. Sit back and listen to this because Katt got all the real. You know Katt. Round of applause to Katt. All right, let's play this.
I know the real Bernie Mac stories, and I know that the people that made money off Bernie Mac didn't like him. They hated his guts.
You don't do your material around a lot of comedians. That's like stealing in front of the police. They sit on the side, ooh, that's funny. Next thing you know, you see it on HBO or something.
And I know the truth. You think I'm gonna let you on Bernie and then come get me? I'm the next king?
You think you know the story of Bernie Mac, but what if I told you the truth is darker than you ever imagined?
I know the real Bernie Mac stories, and I know that the people that made money off Bernie Mac didn't like him. They hated his guts.
Bernie was always trying to warn us. Hollywood wasn't a place for the faint of heart, but just who was he trying to expose? And why did people like Oprah Winfrey and Steve Harvey stay silent?
What do you think they got to do with this? Let's sit back. Let's find this out.
As he battled an industry that chews people up and spits them out.
Why? Because the whole time Bernie was here, you was acting like you was funnier than him. The reason you was supposed to go last is because it was your tour. Tell the truth. It was Steve's tour.
Did Bernie Mac expose too much? Was he silenced for warning others about Hollywood's dirty secrets?
You don't do your material around a lot of comedians. That's like stealing in front of the police. They sit on the side, ooh, that's funny. Next thing you know, you see it on HBO or something.
Let's take a deep dive into how Katt Williams' confessions are pulling back the curtain on Bernie's life and final days, exposing who was really in his corner and who was pulling the strings. This goes deeper than you might think. Was his fate sealed because he dared to reject their twisted games? And just how deep does the Hollywood underbelly go? Bernie Mac was never shy about telling it like it is. Long before he was Hollywood's go-to comedian, he was warning young actors and comedians about the dangers of fame. And he wasn't afraid to call out the twisted pressures put on entertainers.
Hey, y'all, wasn't Bernie Mac in Players? Y'all remember Players? That's the one with Lisa Ray in it. And the little skinny girl supposed to be a regular round-the-way hood chick that they wound up doing some things to in the job. Hey, let's play this out. Hold up.
From refusing to participate in the notorious Hollywood Kids on Laps antics to calling out Hollywood's obsession with control, Bernie's words seemed to ruffle more than a few feathers.
Did you wait?
No.
It would be her.
He warned of a system designed to exploit talent, break down spirits, and leave people desperate for approval. But while he was vocal, his warnings only intensified during his last years as he started to clash with major Hollywood icons. It's now surfacing that Oprah and Steve Harvey may have had a vested interest in silencing Bernie's voice.
What do y'all know about Oprah Winfrey and Steve Harvey with Bernie Mac? Put it in the comments. Come on.
Why? Because the whole time Bernie was here, you was acting like you was funnier than him. The reason you was supposed to go last is because it was your tour. Tell the truth. It was Steve's tour.
Now, it's no secret that Oprah and Steve Harvey run in the same circles as some of Hollywood's biggest players, including controversial figures like Diddy, who has long been rumored to throw secretive, exclusive parties attended by only Hollywood elites. And Katt Williams has made it clear, Bernie was not a fan of these gatherings. Instead, he spoke out against the manipulative tactics and bizarre rituals that often left stars questioning their own values. Bernie Mac had a vision he thought would lift up his fellow comedians, but his truth-telling began to alienate him in an industry full of secrets. One of his early warnings? The culture in Hollywood. In an infamous interview, Bernie hinted at how comedians would be expected to compromise their values to reach stardom, and he wasn't shy about making his disdain clear. But what came next would take a darker turn. Katt Williams, in various interviews, has pointed out that Bernie's honesty about these disturbing industry practices put him on a dangerous path. Katt, who considered Bernie both a friend and mentor, explains that the Hollywood machine doesn't take kindly to those who expose its methods. And his fears weren't unfounded. Katt himself has publicly fought similar battles. But the twist? Bernie refused to back down, even as he became a target. From overworking him while he was visibly sick to ignoring his basic health needs, Hollywood pushed Bernie to the limit. There were stories of him forced to continue filming and performing even when it was clear he was unwell. Stories his daughter has corroborated. This wasn't just fame, it was exploitation. And while Bernie's fans rallied behind him, many of Hollywood's powerful figures, including Oprah and Steve Harvey, stayed silent. Bernie Mac faced numerous challenges in his life, and early on, he had to endure some particularly difficult moments. One of the most heartbreaking events in his life was the loss of his mother, brother, and father. His mother's battle with cancer played a significant role in shaping his life. During an interview with Howard Stern, Bernie revealed the emotional impact of his mother's illness. He recounted a moment when he came home excited after hitting a home run in a baseball game. However, when he entered his home and saw his mother, who wasn't fully covered, he noticed that she had a large scar on her chest. This was a moment of shock and realization for Bernie as he saw that something was seriously wrong. His mother had a mastectomy, and Bernie was frozen with fear.
I was frozen, because I just kept looking. And she said, "Close the door."
Bernie's mother tried to shield him from the truth, asking him to close the door and not inquire further. It was a painful and confusing experience for a young Bernie, who turned to his grandmother for answers. She too directed him back to his mother, who continued to avoid discussing her condition. Despite the emotional turmoil, Bernie's mother prepared for her eventual passing by writing a 10-page letter to Bernie's aunt, explaining her death and offering guidance on how to take care of him. In this letter, she expressed confidence in Bernie's ability to persevere. The interviewer acknowledged that this was an emotionally charged story and appreciated seeing this vulnerable side of Bernie beyond his public persona as a funny man.
Yeah, that's deep. That go to show you how powerful the women are in our lives. That's why you young brothers out there, you put your hands on a female. Remember, that may be somebody's mother. And that's the only thing that I know that not too many people could disagree with, that's tolerable for a child to fight. And I know a lot of y'all not. But I tell my grandkids straight up, if somebody put their hands on you or disrespect you, or take something from you, you fight, and you fight like hell. I deal with your mother and your father telling you not to fight, but granddad telling you fight. You got to give them that balance the same way you got that, that mother and you have that father. You got to have that tough, and you got to have that love. You know what I mean? And their parents, my grandchildren's mother and father, you know what I mean? They're the love, and I'm that tough. They know when they come around grandpa, they're going to be shaped. That's my job as a grandfather, is to shape them, if y'all can understand where I'm going with this. Because I'm feeling this conversation. Their mother and their father is going to love them. They're going to teach them to say thank you, no thank you, please, excuse me, open doors, all of that. That's their mother and father's job. I'm going to oversee as the grandfather that they carry that out. But my job is to give them that real wisdom, that old school wisdom that their mother and their father don't know. Because it's been carried on through generations that, how do you say it? It's carried on through generations that you say thank you. You say no thank you. You pull out a chair for a lady. We know that. But how many times do you know that if you allow someone to steal something from you one time or put their hands on you one time, you're opening the door for them to always take from you because they won't be stealing anymore, now to be taken because you'll know who's doing it. But granddad telling you, you swing hard and don't close your eyes and keep your chin down. You know what I mean? And your elbows in, you know, and just drive. Don't wait for them to come to you, drive. You know what I mean? I know y'all might not like it. My grandson's 7. His mother and father, they deal with that old lovey-dovey crap. I'm going to teach them to be warriors. That's what I feel my role is. Y'all put in the comments what you think a grandfather's role is with a child when it comes to this situation that I'm talking about. Let's get back to old Bernie.
Bernie emphasized the importance of being true to oneself and not being afraid to show vulnerability. He noted that his strength came from accepting himself for who he was. Well, young Bernie eventually grew up, and with growth came a new set of challenges. You see, there have been claims that Hollywood allegedly tried to force him to do strange things. Before achieving fame in Hollywood, the multi-talented comedian faced a challenging journey to stardom. He was a dedicated family man, juggling a variety of odd jobs, including janitorial work, cooking, and even moving furniture, all in pursuit of his comedic dreams. These early struggles laid the foundation for his relentless pursuit of success, and little did he know that the path ahead would demand a significant price. His breakthrough moment arrived with an appearance on HBO's Def Comedy Jam in 1992, a groundbreaking show that catapulted him into the spotlight.
He was funny as a mother on that. Y'all go back and look that up.
This was a pivotal turning point in his career, demonstrating that dreams could be realized even in one's 30s. However, it was his subsequent performance that left an indelible mark on the landscape of contemporary urban comedy. As he continued to climb the ladder of success, Mac began to realize that there were certain compromises the industry expected him to make. These compromises could be perceived as strange and ethically challenging. It's been claimed that Hollywood pressured him to engage in activities that went against his principles and values. Looking back, one might speculate that his unwillingness to cross those lines could be connected to the tragic fact that he is no longer with us. In fact, one fan revealed some of the shady things that Bernie was allegedly made to do in a tweet which they captioned, "The agendas we see in Hollywood are not new. They have been trying to push this stuff on black shows for a while." Here's an old behind-the-scenes clip of a promotional shoot for the Bernie Mac show. They tried to get a teenage boy to sit on Bernie's lap, and he shut that down.
On the lap, you're sitting. Did you wait?
No.
It would be her.
Yo, you saw that? Yo, you see that? They wanted another male to sit on Bernie's lap in Hollywood, you know, because you know that's the norm now, because they do way more than that. But Bernie said, no, we're not doing that. You know, look at this. This is classic Bernie Mac, man.
Abby, isn't Jeremy on the other side?
At first, it seemed like Mac might have been the only comedian that had to deal with the horrible parts of the industry, but it turns out that Mac might have just been the first to have figured it out, as several other entertainers have come out with crazy tales. One of those is Dave Chappelle, and would you believe me if I told you this man up and walked away from a $50 million deal in 2004? Well, let's just say Dave also had his own fair share of Hollywood's dark side. The actor and comedian spoke with Oprah in 2006, and it turns out that his experience might have even been worse than Mac's. During the interview, Chappelle shared insights on the dismissive and sick culture within Hollywood, which allowed many celebrities to be dismissed as being crazy when they brought up certain industry issues involving men wearing dresses.
I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here.
There has been a decades-long stigma in the African American community on men who wear dresses. The topics surrounding and cross-dressing continues as the gender lines are being questioned, and for many, wearing a dress does not necessarily define their. In Hollywood, several black male comedians have portrayed feminine characters that wear dresses on television. While these characters like Shanina Jenkins from Martin and Medea have long been funny to some people, others have deemed these portrayals emasculating to the black man. And Chappelle, just like Mac, is one of those people. Chappelle gave an account to Oprah Winfrey during their interview about how everyone from the film's writers to the producers on a movie set attempted to persuade him to wear a dress.
And you put this dress on, and what? It's a prostitute. Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion.
The comedian, who shared that he was uncomfortable with doing so, described the insistent attempts from the controlling parties of the set, who all said all of the greats did it at some point. But no matter how hard they tried, Dave Chappelle would not budge. The experience led Chappelle, who admitted to being a conspiracy theorist to a degree, to feel as though there was an agenda to get prominent African-American actors in Hollywood to wear women's clothing. The A Star is Born actor begs the question, all the comics that I've seen, Strong Brothers, why they be putting us in these dresses?
It's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress.
Unlike Chappelle, who was very vocal about not wanting to wear women's clothing, many other great comedians have opted to do so. For example, actor and comedian Eddie Murphy has done so on more than one occasion in notable films such as The Nutty Professor and its sequel, Nutty Professor 2, The Klumps, and Norbit. In any case, Hollywood allegedly did way more to Bernie than just force him to do things he wasn't comfortable doing. According to Reginald Ballard, Bernie was also being overworked by Hollywood.
Well, you had said that you felt like they worked him to death because he was doing Ocean's 11 at the time.
I believe so, man.
Reginald Ballard, who shared the screen with Bernie Mac in the star-studded ensemble of Ocean's 11, spoke candidly about the toll that Hollywood's relentless demands took on the beloved comedian. Ballard recounted that during the production of Ocean's 11, Bernie Mac confided in his fellow cast members about the exhaustive schedule he was enduring. He told us that he was doing so much, Ballard revealed. When Brad Pitt broke his ankle and production had to be delayed, it cut into Bernie's time for other projects like Guess Who. He had to rush and try to do a lot of stuff, and he felt that they didn't understand that it wasn't his fault.
They put him in a compromised position that he really didn't want to be in.
This revelation sheds light on the grueling pace at which Bernie Mac was forced to operate, juggling multiple film projects and promotional commitments back to back. The pressures of maintaining a demanding work schedule while navigating health issues began to take a toll on the comedian's well-being. Ballard further disclosed that Bernie Mac's health was a constant concern during the filming of Ocean's 11. The actor had been hospitalized prior to shooting due to health complications and was taking medications, including prednisone, which caused noticeable changes in his appearance. We used to do a scene, and he had to go upstairs to his dressing room to get oxygen, Ballard recalled. He'd come back and do the scene again. He was basically working while he was sick. Aside from this, there were speculations that Bernie was overworking himself so as to prove his value in the industry. Fast forward to 2000, a comedic spectacle graced the spotlight, inducing fits of laughter and etching its legacy into the annals of stand-up history. Directed by the visionary Spike Lee, the original Kings of Comedy featured the uproarious talents of Steve Harvey, D.L. Hewley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Bernie Mac. Shot over 2 unforgettable nights in Charlotte, North Carolina, this comedic masterpiece not only delved into the intricacies of African American culture, race relations, religion, and family, but also left an enduring mark on the comedy landscape. The original Kings of Comedy was more than a film. It evolved into a cultural phenomenon that transcended racial boundaries, uniting audiences in laughter. The film's success paved the way for numerous spin-offs, a attesting to the enduring influence of its 4 comedic maestros. However, beneath the surface of this showbiz success lurk some undisclosed dark secrets. For starters, hushed rumors, which have circulated for years, hint that Mac's career might not have reached its full potential due to alleged tensions amongst these comedians. Cedric, who was a part of the tour, along with D.L. Hewley, Steve Harvey, and Bernie Mac, confirmed that the 2 comedians did not see eye to eye. Yeah. I mean, they were the kind of guys that they both alpha males, like they just saw it different. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they was able to get through it, he said, while on Shannon Sharp's podcast club, Shay. Cedric added that because of the feud, it had prevented them from doing another tour. I think, of course, that was, definitely a contributing circumstance, but I also think that it had a lot to do with the promoter on the thing because he got a bigger head than all of us. The dude that put us all together started to really think was about him. So it started to be that. So it was a lot of those kinds of elements.
Is that one of the reasons why you didn't do? You did the first part, the second part.
I think, of course, that was, definitely a contributing.
In 2003, Mac had an interview with GQ magazine where he accused Harvey of being jealous of him and trying to sabotage him for certain movie roles. Harvey acknowledged his feelings about the GQ article and admitted his anger about it. "I was upset at first because it just wasn't true," said Harvey. "Me and Bernie had a lot of good times together, and then this article in GQ came out and put all this vicious stuff in there." Harvey also acknowledged that he spoke with Mac about the interview. B said he never said it. "I had to take him at his word for it." After Mac's passing, Harvey revealed that his widow, Rhonda McCullough, helped him get beyond the feud. "Rhonda, of all people, knows the truth. It was a cleansing moment for me because I was able to let go of a lot of stuff." No one knows what was actually behind the beef. However, Harvey's admission of having a cleansing moment might imply that something was there indeed. Anyway, years after Bernie's passing, Katt Williams has become one of the few in Hollywood willing to continue his friend's legacy of speaking out. Katt Williams certainly shook the table with his appearance on Club Shay on January 4th, but he saved most of his vitriol for Steve Harvey, the same Steve that went to go watch Mark Curry do his whole sitcom and then stole everything Mark Curry had, he said in the interview. Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit, and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business. "And it's a man unit," he continued. Then you ask him, "Why you not a movie star?" "I didn't want to be a movie star." This the same that hated on Bernie Mac with this same thing. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You have to have range. Following this, Williams also revealed why he turned down a role in the original Kings of Comedy. "I know the truth. You think Emma let you ish on Bernie and then come get me? I'm the next king? Why? Because the whole time Bernie was here, you was acting like you was funnier than him. The reason you was supposed to go last was because it was your tour. Tell the truth, it was Steve's tour," Williams added.
"Y'all thought y'all had one over on him. You thought he was black and ugly, and you were good looking, and he couldn't make it because you did. And that ain't the way comedy works. The king is the funniest."
Now, this is not the first time that Katt Williams has spoken about the late comedian Bernie Mac. In a previous interview with Vlad TV, Katt Williams delved deep into the enigmatic life of Bernie Mac, alleging that the Hollywood moguls who reaped massive profits from his success actually harbored a seething hatred for him.
And I know that the people that made money off Bernie Mac didn't like him. They hated his guts. And that was our king. That was our real king.
Despite the widespread perception of Mac as a comedic titan, his journey unfolded more like a twisted narrative than a fairy tale. Williams' eyebrow-raising assertions allude to a murky plot, casting Bernie Mac as a casualty in Hollywood's unrelenting pursuit of wealth, with alleged puppeteers profiting off his skills while treating him disdainfully. As Williams delved into the narrative's layers, he floated the notion that the rise and fall of Bernie Mac might have been choreographed by invisible orchestrators. The accusations are jolting. Purportedly, Mac's successes were not the result of authentic industry support, but rather a strategic maneuver to exploit his abilities for financial advantage. Katt Williams spared no words in articulating the covert manipulation that could have played a role in concluding Bernie Mac's story on a tragic note. Furthermore, he shed light on how Hollywood elites manipulate the storyline to suit their own agendas.
How it ended up, because sometimes the victors rewrite history, but by the same token, God is there for us, and sometimes his best gift to us is getting us out.
Another person who recently backed Katt Williams claims is Bernie Mac's own daughter, Janice McCullough. McCullough focused on Williams' expression of praise for her father while calling out comedians, namely Steve Harvey, who allegedly tried to slight Mac before he passed away at the age of 50 in 2008. She said,
I don't know Katt Williams, never met him. That's one person I never did get to meet when my dad was alive, but from everything that I've ever heard my dad, say, he's always seemed like a stand-up dude, so I have no qualms, no quarrels with him.
McCullough said she has the utmost appreciation and respect for the Pimp Chronicles jokester for his remarks. I felt like it was genuine. There are some people who have given my dad his flowers now that he's dead that I'm looking at like, now you know doggone well you wasn't doing that when he was alive. And that's not just famous people, just people all across the board. She explained that Williams' praise for her father was proof that the late comedian was a man of integrity. It does my heart good that my dad was a stand-up guy. The man that I knew him to be was who he actually was to people, cause that's the thing. Like, we can love people and think they one way and find out later. McCullough continued, I just really appreciate what I believe is genuine love and respect that Katt Williams showed my father. She added that she is open to having a sit down with Williams. Knowing all that we know now, the question still remains, why did people like Oprah and Steve stay silent when Bernie was clearly struggling? The answer may lie in the powerful connections these figures hold within Hollywood. Oprah, a close friend of industry giants and rumored to attend exclusive gatherings, seemed to distance herself from Bernie during his most challenging years. Steve Harvey, on the other hand, has had his own struggles in Hollywood, but chose to align with the powerful rather than speak out. It's been revealed in past reports that Oprah and Diddy share connections with some of the most controversial figures in Hollywood, and Bernie's warnings about the parties align suspiciously with the rumors surrounding these Hollywood elite gatherings. As Katt Williams once hinted, perhaps Bernie's outspokenness was getting too close to the truth, a truth Hollywood's power players didn't want coming to light. From rejecting Hollywood's pressures to join their social elite to publicly refusing to play into questionable industry norms, Bernie made powerful enemies. And with Oprah and Steve silent on these issues, many are now questioning if they chose their loyalty to Hollywood over loyalty to a friend. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.
All right, so that's where we at, man. What do y'all think about that? Let's talk about that and see where we gonna go. All right, let's talk about that and see exactly where we gonna go. But you tell me now, where we at with that? What I'm getting from this is that Steve Harvey figuring that he light-skinned, Bernie Mac dark-skinned, that he couldn't be one of the elite. Steve Harvey is thinking that he's, a European, as Katt Williams say, country bunking, and he's looking at Bernie Mac as the country bunking. Bernie Mac jet black, he that. You know what I mean? He felt like he didn't belong in Hollywood, so they felt like he kept him out. Oprah had the key to the gate, allegedly, because she was mixing with the Hollywood superstars. And what do y'all think about this? Make sure you hit the subscribe button. So go to Mecca Audio TV. Hit the subscribe and the notification. Hit the subscribe notification over here. And cop my man Lou Sims' book, The QR Code Work. Let's keep it moving. All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the a can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio.